Hello, it's now a beautiful day in Pontivy. It was raining earlier, but I'm now at the castle, the chateau of the Rohan family, and I'm on an organised guided tour with a lovely young French lady guide. Unfortunately, I can't understand everything that she's saying, so I've just separated myself from the group so that I obviously don't disturb any of them as they listen to her. But hopefully we're about to go inside the chateau, and I can show you around the outside of it until we go inside. But let's take a look at it. You've got the two flags flying there. You've got the French flag and the Breton flag, the flag of Brittany. And you've got these beautiful flowers that are probably not doing the wall any good because they're disturbing the material between the stones, but they do look pretty, don't they? So that little red window there looks like it's been repainted and restored, and the ones up above there have not as yet. The other one over here on this turret that's quite red, it's obviously been repaired as well, and it's been repainted, and I'm sure there are plenty of more plans to restore this very historical site. Pontivy is a very important town because it's at the juncture of a canal and a river, and so it's always been an important trading town, and it's gained its wealth because of that ability to position itself on two waterways where they join. And I have got photos of the bridges and the waterways on the blog and on Instagram stories. It's quite windy today, so you can hear that flagpole flying there with the Breton flag. But isn't the red door quite lovely? And we'll just skirt around here, and guide still talking. I was hoping that we might be able to move our way into the castle without me disturbing anybody, but very mixed bag of weather here today. Let's just go to the other side of this little square, and you've got one of the main streets of Pontivy down here. There's the creperie of the chateau. I think they've just named themselves that to take advantage of the chateau. A little further up the street there was a bricante, and there's a pizza shop, toy shops. There was also a concept store, which is sort of like a gift store and store of essential things, but unique and artisan designed work. Okay, those flowers are lovely, aren't they? So here we are. Let's see if we can get a bit closer to this, and then you might be able to read this later. So that's quite an old photograph that's been replicated there, isn't it? Alright, so I might say goodbye to you. Let me just take you, or actually before I do that, let me just take you up this avenue of trees, because I don't think we're about to head just yet into the chateau. If I film that, I may be able to add it to this one and give you one long video. if not, if we are able to get inside the chateau and I'm able to film it, what I'll do is I'll make it a part 1 and part 2. So you've got some interesting ancient stonework up there. That looks like it will have been a natural watercourse entry point for that spring, and that's probably in later times, and then earlier times it would have fed this moat. So you would have had the water feeding the moat, and then later on it's fed like a washing area up there. So I'll just come back there so you can see the chateau. And like I said, if I can get to go inside on this tour, then I'll do a part 1 and part 2. If not, you've seen the quite magnificent exterior of the chateau at Pontivy, which is a town in Brittany. So au revoir from me. So I'm now inside the chateau. I'm going to catch up with the group, but I don't like to talk over the guide anyway. So this is the front doors that you could see from the outside. We didn't actually come through that gate. We came through this little side walkway here. Now I'm going to show you the plan. There's the 3 towers, the internal wall. So I'm going to take you here into the middle area, which is walled off, and the moat is on the outside. So let's go through. There's the plaque. This is part 2, by the way, part 2 of the chateau at Pontivy. I had to stop filming the first part, but this is part 2. So here we are. It looks like there's been a party or an event with a marquee folded up there and a number of chairs and weights to hold it down. So there's been some event inside, and I'm just thinking what an extraordinary wedding event location this is, because you've got just about the purpose-built stairway there for a bride to come down the stairs and be wowing the guests. So we've got one of the turrets there, and we'll just pop back up there to that doorway we came through. That's the other turret. Quite spectacular, isn't it? And there we've got the length of the building, and what I think would have been initially stained glass. So this is like the outside inside, so it's still got high perimeter walls, and I guess under siege this area would have allowed them to grow crops and gather water and also raise livestock if they were ever under siege. So quite a important area. And then when I guess the family, the titled family that lived here, when they're not concerned for their safety, it's most likely vegetables and flowers and an outdoor space. So we've got really quite amazing, got to go up close to see them, but we've got the water system that's all in stone. So you've got stone water pipes basically coming down to gargoyles and collection points, and there's holes in the rock that the water funnels out and spurts over and then disappears and goes through this almost like a lizard with a face animal, and then comes out through the hole. So that happens a number of times. So it's coming from the roof up there and down and into a watering trough for most likely animals, and that's part of another animal. The animal would have had a face, I'm sure. This is the chapel. That's the stairs up to the chapel. So it's getting more and more perfect, actually, isn't it, for a wedding location? I think you might have to be someone rather special to hire this entire location. But these water pipes are just extraordinary. All made out of stone. So I'm going to go and have to check my Google Translate to see what that word means. Hopefully it doesn't mean anything too disastrous, but it would be good to know anyway. And I'll just stop talking for a moment because I don't want to disturb our guide and the group. But it looks like there are parts up here that are still being restored, or maybe won't be restored at all. This will have been maybe the last turret up here. That part of the wall may have come down, or maybe not have been as high, but definitely rooms and buildings here. So this part of it has not lasted the length of time. So the stones look like they've been very carefully laid together. So there'll be a system of where the stones have come from and what they would like to do with them as far as restoration work goes. Let's go back over this wall and we'll look on the inside there. So maybe you've been to Pontivy and you've seen the outside of this castle. They don't run tours all that often in the off season. In the high season they do run them a bit more often, but you still need to time it, and they're not particularly big groups. So I'm very happy to have been able to do this and share it with you today. So I'll go back and join the group, but I'm loving that yellow door. So au revoir, and goodbye to this part of the video. If there's any more to share, I'll put it in the notes and in the description, and you'll know that there's a third part. But if there's no description there on the third, or one of three or two of three, whatever, then this is the end of the tour for us. Okay, thanks for joining me in Pontivy. Bye. I'm now inside the chateau. I will go and show you whereabouts we are so that you can figure out. We've gone from that. I entered the part 2 on that wall there, and then we've entered in, and so isn't that just a lovely view? I better not lose my group too much, but they've all disappeared down this hallway. And what beautiful flooring we have here. I think what we're going to do is exit the way we came in because the door was not locked behind us. So let's just take a look. Obviously they're painted, but what beautiful old handles they are. So I don't think the guide is worried about me. She knows where I am. I'm always trailing them. But the age and the patina of the wood with the rust, I think that would actually just make a beautiful photograph, that actually. So that's where I've come up from. Now I won't talk because I do not want to disturb the guide, but I'll follow them, and so there won't be any talking from me for the moment.
Si jamais l'ennemi avait quand même réussi à s'approcher du château, là c'était les ouvertures au sol, donc les machicoulis, qui étaient utilisées. Et donc, qu'est-ce qu'ils pouvaient utiliser comme moyen de défense s'ils utilisaient les machicoulis? Les pierres, donc ils completaient déjà les pierres, c'est facile, on en trouve facilement. Par contre, l'huile, c'est une erreur de traduction en fait qui a été faite avec un siège de château au 19e, où les historiens ont confondu l'huile et la poix. Donc, si on utilise l'huile pour se défendre, on ne va plus l'utiliser pour se nourrir. Donc dans ce cas-là, c'est compliqué puisqu'on ne sera plus en forme pour pouvoir défendre correctement le château. Et donc c'est la poix qu'on va utiliser, c'est POIX. Et donc c'est comme du goudron, pour vous imaginer un petit peu à quoi ça ressemble, et ça se trouve dans les marécages. Donc Pontivy, c'est quand même une ville qui était assez marécageuse, donc on pouvait quand même en trouver aussi aux environs.
So after leaving the turret, we've just come through another room with a beautifully worked ceiling. It's obviously had, it's a bit of a conference room now, but it's obviously had some reworking done because that ceiling would have been centrally located in the room. I'll come out here. I'll join my group, but we've got the outdoor view. And that's actually the junction of the two rivers. You've got the central point of the two canals there. So I'm up in the turret here. It's quite big, isn't it? Look, I'm walking at quite a pace. And oh, here's our group.
Donc c'est du côté de Vannes. Et donc pour sauvegarder cette cheminée, sa grande sœur qu'on verra tout à l'heure, et un passe-plat, la ville de Pontivy a acheté ces éléments dans les années 60, puisque en plus ce sont des éléments peints. Donc imaginez-vous s'ils étaient restés dans ce château, soit le climat l'aurait détérioré, ou sinon il aurait pu avoir des vols ou des dégradations aussi volontaires. Et donc elles sont sauvegardées en étant à l'abri ici, mais ça n'a aucun lien avec le château. Donc, en étant installée ici, elle n'est plus fonctionnelle non plus. On n'avait pas de conduit de présent à cet emplacement-là. On a une autre cheminée tout au fond qu'on verra tout à l'heure. Vous verrez là, c'est vraiment la cheminée la plus ordinaire, la plus banale possible. Et donc, pour parler de celle-ci, au centre, juste ici, vous retrouvez le blason de la famille. Donc là, vous voyez qu'ici, c'est un animal qui est utilisé. Et donc, cette famille, c'est la famille de Chauhan. Et donc, on dit que c'est un cerf passant, puisque là, vous voyez, il lève la patte, donc il est en train de marcher. Vous avez d'autres blasons où on a notamment le cerf qui est de nouveau représenté, puisque là, c'est pour des alliances avec d'autres familles où on a justement les blasons des deux qui sont regroupés. Et donc, sur cette cheminée, vous avez aussi une citation donc, qui commence à droite et qui termine à gauche. On en aura deux autres aussi sur l'autre cheminée. Et donc ici, ça va être Saint, 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 Seigneur des armées, ayez pitié de nous. Vous verrez tout à l'heure qu'elles sont toutes en lien avec la religion et probablement aussi avec l'histoire de la famille de Chauhan. Et l'autre élément qu'on ne peut pas voir, je vais en profiter pour juste vous le montrer en photo, c'est un élément qui se trouve dans la chapelle, sauf qu'il s'agit en réalité d'un passe-plat. Donc vous l'avez ici en photo. Et donc le passe-plat a été installé dans la chapelle, parce que vous voyez que ça ressemble quand même à un élément qu'on pourrait penser religieux, du fait de tous ces décors. Et donc comme la ville ne savait pas qu'il s'agissait d'un passe-plat, elle l'a installé dans la chapelle n'y a pas besoin de faire de grosses modifications en étant en hauteur.
Ça représente combien d'arbres?
Alors là, je ne pourrais pas vous dire. Déjà, j'ai retrouvé plusieurs documents où ils nous mettent que c'est différent.
C'est le derrière?
Non, on n'a pas cassé le mur derrière. En petits morceaux, en fait, c'est une cheminée qu'on a démontée. Elle est composée de différents blocs. Donc après, quand on la démonte, il faut repeindre aux endroits. Mais elle a été démontée à Quaipandec et remontée ici. Donc là, il est quand même probable qu'elle soit passée par la porte à laquelle nous sommes venus aussi. Parce que là, au moins, on est plein pied partout. Puis sinon, les fenêtres, on est à une certaine hauteur.